Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and these videos are late, very late. We had such early releases with Golden Week and everything else kicking in that it really caught me off guard. So a lot of the scanlations came out on Tuesday, and I wasn't prepared for Tuesday. Even tried, but I fell asleep when I was meant to be making the video. I was just tired, so unfortunately that can't be helped. But here we are, starting off with Black Clover 108, and we have a little guest with us who's just not going to sleep at this time. So this chapter was actually really enjoyable. It was quite comedic. At the same time, it has some elements of things for setup, things that are yet to come, and it opens up a whole new world. It gives us a little bit of, I guess, further depth to possibilities, new characters and things like that coming up. And I like the fact that I was right, but we'll get into that in this review. So the chapter, brilliant, funny, amazing setup, and like I said, opens up some possibilities. Let's kind of talk through all of those and give my thoughts on a few different things. So let's talk about the thing that I was most happy as I was right about. Milio Leona Vermilion is in fact the eldest sibling of Fuego and the other brother Leopold, or Leo, I'd like to call him. And she's hot, she's passionate, and she's happened to be hot. I mean, she's hot-tempered and she's good-looking. So, in that sense, I guess she's a fiery personality. Now, what I liked about it, more than the fact that Leopold got punched in the face and the fact that he stood up for his brother's name, shows that they have a deep relationship, but even more so sets up the idea that Leo should be the one who enters those elite knights. And that's something we'll talk about later on, about power-ups and whatnot. With that being said, let's talk about this for a second. One key thing that I really liked in this chapter, one of the main key things, is the fact that she's not involved in the political agendas of the country, the military, the society, and she's said to be a powerful force outside of this. So she's not involved in the policing or the magic knights or the democracies or the hypocrisy. She's not involved in any of that. She's a powerful force sat on the sidelines. This is good for two reasons. Number one, it opens up the possibilities of being other beings such like her that are also powerful, that have not been involved in the story. It's a nice little plot point that enables us to expand our character repertoire, so to speak, and for us to be introduced to new characters that we haven't seen so far, that may not be directly involved or influencing the current scene of Magic Knights in this place and the second place. The second point, I think, is probably even more interesting, is why isn't she involved? What is her reasoning for not being involved? And does this lead to something bigger? So just that big vagueness there for that second part is more important to me, because there's so many ways us as readers can think about it, and the author can play that off. So that's the first thing that's important. Then the humour in this chapter was amazing. There's so many things that were in here that just made me laugh. So first of all, let's start with the Yami thing. Yami turns up, rocks up, and he talks about his captains being lower captains, and he's like, how's it feel to be lower than me? And he's bragging, and they're like, what are you talking about? This is the first time you've been above us, and he's basically rinsing them all. Silver's not happy. Jack the Ripper's not happy. The guy that's from Purple Orcas or whatever he's called, he's like, oh, why do you have to do this? The youngest guy that's friends with youngest captain that's friends with Asta, he's like, oh, he's being a good guy, he's letting us know how he feels and he thinks about us. That was all funny. But then after that, it got even funnier, because basically Melio is tearing everyone a new one. And she's like, oh, hello, Sicilian! That was just perfect. That's just a translation thing. We don't know the official translation, but trust Yami to basically do this. Now, it's interesting to note that she's meant to be stronger than Fuego, which gives a chance for her to be stronger than Yami. This is good, because having someone that's an ally that's potentially stronger than Yami gives him room to grow. Now, let's talk about the gripping scene, where he literally grabs loads of people. So she grabs Asta, you're coming with me. She grabs Yuno, you're coming with me. She grabs Yami, you're coming with me. And then she even grabs Rosalie and she's like, "You were late to the assignment. Come with me." And Novella's like, "Oh, what are you doing? You need to send off. You come with me as well." But the points made were quite cool. Now, being Asta's arrival of Leopold made sense that he was going to go. Yuno being there made sense that he was going to go. Yami taking the pace, but him having room for growth, it's important that he goes. And Charlotte Rosalie, again, she's not herself. She has to go. The whole thing with Novella was very to the point, specifically saying that it wasn't your reason, you wasn't the reason why you're number one, and because of that, you need to go. And then we find out where they're going to go. The Goma Zone, a hot spring training. This is training? Yes. Literally an active volcano zone where they've got to trek through this, and this is going to kind of help them in training and power them up. This is important for a few different reasons. Number one, the volcano thing. So other than the fact that they're fire people and they're all about the fire elements and doing their thing, being the Crimson Lions, the Goma Zone translated to Demon Zone. So this is a perfect opportunity for Asta to use this zone potentially to develop this demon side, this anti-magic side that's linked to the sword with the demon being trapped inside it. Potentially he could trap a few more. Potentially he could learn to fight against demons by controlling a demon, you know, fighting fire with fire, so to speak, in a fire zone. Quite ironic, don't you think? With that being said, there's another thing to that. When you think about volcanoes, you think about molten lava, right? You think about this heat, this ferocity, but there's also another thing there. Earth. Earth is a key element in molten lava. Steel comes from it, soot and everything else comes from it, and smoke comes from it. But earth plus fire, a lot of it in heat and compression and everything else and pressure, makes lava eventually, right? Could this be the zone where we potentially see the earth elemental? Not the Sylph, the earth elemental. We've seen the wind, we've seen the fire. Could this be the one? I was hoping in the water temple. I know it's like I'm a broken record here, but I was hoping to see a water Sylph or water elemental. Could this be the one where we see the earth elemental? And maybe, just maybe, this earth elemental is destined for Leopold. Now, remember I was talking about he needs to power up, he needs to be chosen. This is going to be the thing that's going to push him to that next level. Maybe he needs that big boost. This is maybe where he's going to get him. Now, remember we talk about elementals. Even if you think about Naruto, there's always kind of elemental advantages and disadvantages, like fire and water and wind and earth and all this other stuff, right? What if, by potentially this earth elemental coming and Leopold inheriting this, that Yuno and Leopold become these big rivals, and they basically get stronger off each other because of elemental differuses. Sorry, I keep rubbing my eye, my bad. With that being said, if you think about the characters that I've got, captains aside, Novella, amazing potential, loads of power, just needs to harness it. Yuno has the Wind Sylph, so much potential. He's got the 4-leaf Clover. He's gonna need a power up. Asta, basically the kryptonite to every single magician around or mage around. Perfect chance to work on his demon powers and work on his anti-magic. Leopold needs to do it for his brother, needs to step up and show his sister how it's done. Power up. Here's the thing. We were told last chapter they've got a selection in a week. This trail, this week-long mini arc will hopefully get them ready to be in a good position to battle it out, to hopefully be selected for the Royal Knights. That's my thoughts. Here's a few hints that I've thrown out there. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Especially comment. I really enjoy that. I'll see you next time.